Yeah, it gets a little mess in it. And it's got some age on it, but the price is right. How can you go wrong with an old mechanical diesel? All right, well, we'll get to looking at this pump, see if we can figure out what's going on with it. All right, I'm gonna try to take this side of the hood off so I can see down to the back side of the injection pump, because that's where the leak is. I think that's the last bolt. Alright, it was hanging down under the hood, but I got it unhooked. It's got to come back. There we go. Here's the pump. It's leaking somewhere down in here. I can see it a little better than you all can. This is the shut-off valve handle right here. That's not factory. He put that on here, I'm sure, for this reason. I know it's coming from the back of the pump because I already looked at it just a little bit, but I don't know exactly where. And it does it just sitting here, not running or anything. That doesn't really seem to matter. So I'm gonna try to dry it up, some brake clean. It's really hard to tell where a leak's coming from if you don't get it good and dry. Plus that engine still has a little heat in it. And that helps it dry up even better. Actually, I think this return line is leaking some. So I need to keep an eye on it. That could even be my leak, but it's hard to tell. So if I can get it dried up, and I have the fuel off right now. Once it's dry, I'll turn it on and we'll see what we can figure out. So y'all don't want to see all this, but I'm going to finish wiping it down. Okay, it's the next day. I went up last night. I hadn't really found the leak yet. I've had the fuel turned off, and it's dry right now around the base. And when it starts leaking, it seems to, start running around the base there and then down the side of the block. So I've turned the fuel back on a minute ago, and I might pressurize the tank a little bit and see if I can coax it to leak some. So hopefully it's pretty dry right now, so I'm hoping I can kind of trace where it's coming from and we can go from there. All right, y'all, so it's been a few days, and we're working on that fuel leak, and I think I figured out the problem. It was a lot more simple than I thought it might be if it holds out. But it's been a few days and I've ran it some, and I don't seem to be having issues now. It's been sitting here in the garage, and I've not seen anything on the floor, so other than some hydraulic fluid, but no fuel, so that's a good thing. The hydraulic leaks are not too bad, but I don't like it leaking fuel a lot. So I think we mostly got it fixed. I showed you all that return fitting on the side of the head. and I believe that's where the leak was coming from. And I'll put a little clip in here that shows it running. And that was actually after I tightened it up. I took this video of it running, and you can see it's still wet, but it must have been really dripping and running down the side of the block and getting on the injection pump, and you know, just coating that whole area. The fan blows back through there, so it makes everything wet. And so I'm really glad that that seems to be what the problem was, because I was kind of concerned that maybe it was something with the pump. And the pumps for these old tractors are kind of expensive, and I'm sure you can work on them yourself, but always better if you don't have to take one apart. So I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about here. So here's the return fitting. The injectors on this tractor, you can see the lines go in the side of the head right here. And the injectors are internal, and you know, inside the valve cover. You have to take the valve cover off to get to them, but there's a return line that runs to each injector, and then it exits the block right here, or the head right here. And then this metal line just snakes down and then goes up into the bottom of the fuel tank. And then this rubber line coming in is the return from the injection pump. But basically, all I did was tighten that a little bit, and it still leaks some, but it's not really a constant drip or anything now. It's just maybe a little seep that will probably drip occasionally, but it's way better than it was. It was leaving a pretty good little puddle in the garage floor when I pulled it in. So it may have only been leaking when it was running, but I thought it was when it was parked a lot, because it would leave a pretty good puddle, but it may have just been dripping down off of everything. So you can see down here, hopefully, yeah, you can see that it's still dry around the pump base, and the humidity's kind of got some stuff sweating a little bit as far as steel and things today, but or the weather changing temperatures, but there's no diesel, nothing wet with diesel down there. So pretty sure that's all we had on the fuel leak. Thought it was going to be a lot worse than that, but turned out not to be, so that's always a good thing. So anyway, that will conclude the fuel leak fix for now, unless I find otherwise. But I have ran it some, and haven't had an issue yet, so I'll continue to use it some, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching.